Sometimes we may need to clean the grammar, like if there is a grammar like this. What is the language that is being generated by this grammar? It's null because there is no terminal production for B and S is deriving only this production. That means we can't derive any string from this start variable, right? So in such cases, though we have two productions, they are all invalid. So how do we know that whether all the productions in the given grammar are useful or not? So sometimes we have to apply some cleanup techniques to understand the language that is being generated by the grammar. So we will see what are those cleanup steps now. Now we will see how to remove useless productions first. Suppose if there is a grammar like this. What is useless production here? So S is deriving AB, A derives A, B derives B. But this one, C derives A is useless because C is not coming anywhere from start variable. So to derive any string, we have to start with start variable S, but whatever be the production we apply, we never get C, right? So from S, the only possible production is AB. And A has only one production, that is A, and B derives B. But what is the final language we accept? We accept only AB string, right? But in that, to generate this string, we never go to this production. We never use that production. So that's why this is useless production. Similarly, suppose if we have grammar like this. A or B, A derives A. What is useless production here? S derives either A or B and A derives single terminal A. Then what is useless? S derives B, because S derives B is useless because B is not deriving any terminal. To derive any string from start variable, we should have every internal variable need to derive some final terminal string, right? So finally it should have a sentential form like this, which is deriving the terminal string. But B doesn't have any production, so S derives B is a useless production. So there are two types in this. If there is a variable which is not coming anywhere from the start symbol sentential form, then if it is there is no sentential form like this, C is useless. And if there is a production which is not deriving any terminal string, then this is also a useless production. Now we will see how to remove such productions. Now let's see how to remove useless symbols. The technique is simple. So we start with all the variables that derive some terminals, single terminal or terminal strings. Alpha is nothing but terminal star. Then we start with such variables and we try to write production where A belongs to some right hand side. Then we keep adding such productions and then we say that all of them are useful, and we will run one more step to remove the variables which are not coming from start symbol. Now let's see how to apply those techniques. So first thing is we should add all terminal deriving production. 0 and 1 are our terminal symbols. So what are all the productions? C derives 0 is one such production, B derives 1 is one such production, and P derives 0 is one production. So these three variables are deriving terminal symbols. So C derives 0, B derives 1, P derives 0. Now we should check when are these variables coming on the right hand side. So this is already added, this is already added. A derives 0, B. And we know that B already derives some string. So A derives 0, but B can also derive some string, right? So we should add A derives 0, B to our set. Now this is also done. What about C derives AB? Now there is A, there is B, and both of them are deriving some terminal strings. So C can also derive some terminal strings. So we should add C C derives AB to this set. Now what about B derives CC? That should also be added because C derives some string. So this is done. What about AD? A derives string because there is this production. But what about D? And so far we haven't seen any production with D, right? So we should not add this now. Now let's go back to this. What about ABCC? A derives something, B derives C. So this should be added. S derives ABCC. What about AC? A derives something, C derives something, AC can also derive terminal string. What about AB? AB can also derive terminal string. So only thing that is left is this string. Again, after finishing one round, we should again check if there are any productions left. So this is done, this is done, this is done, everything else is done except this. So should we check? We should check whether we can add this production now. So B is deriving AD. A is there but D is not there, that means D cannot derive any terminal string. So we should not add AD to our set. So what all we should add? We should add only these productions. So except AD, now everything else can derive terminal string. But should we say that all these are useful? No. There are two checks. One is to derive terminal. Other thing is it should come from the start symbol. That means if there is a variable V, it should be in some sentential form of S which derives finally some terminal string. So if there is no such production, if there is no way that we can use that variable when we are deriving some string from S, we should say that this is also useless, right? So now we will check whether all these productions are useful or not. So second round we should check is whether they can be derived from S or not. So S can derive AB. So now we are doing it in a reverse way. In this approach we started with terminal strings. Now we started with start variable. So S can derive AB. So what are all? We will add them to one set. S derives A, B, C. So these are all useful variables. Now what about B? B derives C, but C is already added. So we identified that S is useful, B is useful, C is useful, A is useful. So now we should check all the productions. AB is already covered, AC is covered, ABCC is covered, CC is covered, AB is covered and B is covered. So that's all. That means whenever there is a variable on the left hand side from this set, we should add right hand side. If there is a production like A derives Q, we should add that production also if that is belonging to this set. So we are left with only these four variables. Now we should remove all other productions if there is any variable which is not in this set. So we should keep all these productions, we should keep this, keep this, keep this, keep this. But this one we should remove because P is not useful variable. So we should remove this production. That means total we have removed two production, one is here, one is here and everything else is useful. Now let's see how to remove useless symbols from this grammar. So first is we should start with all terminal productions, right? So here this is one, this is one. So we will list out it. A derives A, B derives B. These are two terminal productions. So this is done, this is done. Now what should we do? We should check whether A or B are coming on any production right hand side. So S derives AB. We know that A can derive terminal, B can derive terminal. So S derives AB is a valid production. So this is done. So AC we don't know because we don't know C8. We don't know about D also. What about A derives BB? Yes, B can derive terminal. So A derives BB is also valid. This is also done. What about AE? We don't know anything about E yet, so we should not add this. So B derives BB, AB. We know that B can derive B and we know that A and B can derive string. So we should add AB production here. What about this? We don't know about F. We haven't written F yet, right? So we should not do this. And this is done. What about AA? Yes, we have already seen that A can derive terminal. So we should add this production as well. Now we will come to D productions. What about this? No, there is no E. here, so we don't know anything about this or this. What about these productions? We don't know anything about E, we should not add. We don't know anything about D, so we should not add. So we have added these productions. Now again we should do one more round because there might be some new productions which might add these productions, right? So we should check once again. What about AC? C is there now, so we should add AC also. What about AD? We haven't added D, so we should not add. So what about AE? No. What about AFA? No. F is not there, so we should not add. Though we have A, we should not add AFA because we don't know whether F can derive terminal or not. So this is not, we should not include this production, and these two also we should not include, and these two also. So now again we need to check one more round because recently we have added some production. So it's better to check one more time whenever we are adding something in that iteration. So what about this? No, we don't have D here, so we should not add this, and we don't have E, we should not add this. We don't have F, we should not add this one. All these have E, so we should not add. This has D, so we don't have D, so we should not add. So after removing those things, we are left with only these productions, right? Now we should check whether they are all coming in the sentential form from the start variable. So for that, what should we do? We should start with S. So we will add S to a set because S is there and we know that we always start with start variable, so that is useful. Now S can derive A, B or C, so all of them are useful. And these are the only 4 variables, and in one iteration itself we got all of them in this set. So all the productions whichever have these variables on the left hand side are all useful. So this is our final grammar after removing useless productions. Now we will see how to remove null or epsilon productions. Suppose a grammar is like this. There is a production B derives epsilon, right? This is called null or epsilon production. This production is called as null production or epsilon production. So now we will see how to remove such productions. So if there is a language and it has epsilon in it, and if epsilon belongs to this language, then there is no way for us to remove epsilon because start symbol has to derive epsilon because epsilon belongs to our language. So we can't manage without having epsilon. Assume that S derives some variables and none of them have epsilon productions. How can we derive epsilon from S? No, right? So we should be very careful when we have to remove epsilon productions. So we should always pick languages which doesn't contain epsilon. Then only we can remove all epsilon productions from that grammar. Otherwise, if the language contains epsilon, so we will separate that epsilon production and apply this technique on remaining productions, and finally add that S derives epsilon to make sure that we include epsilon as well. But we should not get confused between the language containing epsilon. If the language contains epsilon, we can't remove all epsilon productions from that grammar. Now we will see how to remove epsilon productions from a given grammar. So if there is a epsilon production like this and that variable is coming on the right hand side of some other productions, and it can have anything before that variable or after that variable, UW is nothing but anything from variable or terminal set. So then what we should do is to remove this production, we should rewrite all these productions. We should keep that production and add one more thing like this. So we should recursively apply this technique. So then these two are becoming these two productions. So we will not have any epsilon production anymore. So we should apply this technique in the given grammar and remove all epsilon productions. Let's see how to remove epsilon production from this grammar. There is only one epsilon production, that is B derives epsilon. How to remove this production? So we already know the rule. Whenever we want to remove this production, we should check where B is present on the right hand side. So this is one production, this is one production, this is one production. So we should rewrite all of them. So how do we rewrite? So now S derives AB, we will keep that production, but there will be one more new production where we just substitute B epsilon in place of B. So now S will have two productions like this. Similarly, what about A? A also has a production AA followed by BB, which has B, right? But now we want to remove this production, so we should again rewrite BB and B, because we want to remove this B derives epsilon completely. Similarly for B, A slash BB slash, and because we want to remove, we should substitute epsilon in place of B and we should add one more production. So this is the new grammar which generates same language as this but without epsilon productions. Now let's see how to remove epsilon productions from this grammar. So it has one epsilon production. Now we'll see how to remove. So which are the productions that have A on the right hand side? This is one, right? Now we should rewrite production rules for both of them. S derives, I will not change anything for these two productions, but now for AA what should I do? I should include AA and just A, because I want to remove this production, so I should just substitute epsilon in place of A. So now I got this production set, and now I have removed this A derives epsilon, so there will not be any production for A. Now there will be production rules for B. B derives BB or, now I have AA, but A has epsilon production, so to remove that I should add AA or A. So if we see now we have only two variables and these are all the productions, but there are duplicates. S is deriving A and A, so we have unnecessarily written that production twice. If we want, that can be removed. And there is one more issue. If we see, now we have removed A productions completely, but still there are productions which have A on the right hand side. So these all will be useless production now, because there is no A on the left hand side. So even if we substitute this for S, we will not get any terminal or any string out of this production. So they are useless. So sometimes removing epsilon productions may introduce some useless productions. So after this again we have to apply the technique of removing useless productions to get the final grammar for any given grammar. So what would be our final grammar after removing useless productions? First of all, we should find what are all useless. So we already know that S derives some terminal, B derives some terminal, so both of them are deriving some terminal, so we will add those productions. S derives A, B derives A. Then whatever has S or B on the right hand side should be added. So this production BB, and this production is already there. What about AA? We should not add because we haven't decided whether A should be included or not. And B derives A is already there, B derives BB. So we have removed these two productions because they don't derive any terminal string from that. So this is the final equivalent grammar for this given grammar. Now we will see one more step in cleanup, that is removing unit production. What is a unit production? First of all, a single variable deriving another single variable is called a unit production. Suppose if the grammar contains a production like this is called unit production. Why are we trying to remove? Because they don't add much value to it, right? Suppose if we see derivation tree, if there are many unit production like this, and finally it's deriving one particular thing, why can't we directly have that instead of applying so many productions, right? So it's always good to remove unit production. Now we will see how to remove unit production. Suppose if there is a production like this, A derives B and B derives some X, Y, all, it can be the terminal or combination of variable terminals or something else. So what we do is, to remove this production, we directly derive them from A. So that is how we remove unit productions. Now we'll see how to remove unit productions from this grammar. How many productions it has, like unit? One is this one, A derives C, and the other one is C derives B. Now we'll start with one. So let's assume that we want to remove this production first, A derives C. How do we do that? So to do this, we just replace C with all the productions that C is deriving. So we will add AA, RCC, RB. We have removed one, but we got one because C also has a unit production. Now either we can try to remove this A derives B or C derives B. Suppose let's assume that we want to remove A derives B first. Suppose if we want to remove A derives B first, so after removing B we should add these productions directly to A. So I'll add like this. So now it doesn't have any unit production. So A is done. Now there is one more unit production for C, that is C derives B. How to remove this? So we will take out B, and instead of that we directly add B productions. Right? So this is the final grammar which doesn't have any unit production. Let's take one more example and see how to remove unit productions. So there are 3 unit productions in total, S derives A derives S, A derives B. Now we can pick any of them. So we'll start with S derives A. So to remove S derives A, if we want to remove this, we should add A productions, right? So what are they? S derives S or S derives B. Now we have added 2 productions because we have removed one unit production, and both of them are again unit production. What is the one? S derives S. It is totally redundant because S can anyways derive S, right? So it is not adding anything. So we can simply remove whenever there is such production. Now we are left with 1, 2, 3. Still 3 more to remove. Let's start with S derives B, and if we want to remove, we should add B production. There is only one production for B, so we will add this, and then we can totally remove this B. Now there are 2 more, A derives S, A derives B. Now let's pick S first. If we want to remove A derives S, we should add S productions like this, and to remove A derives B, we should add B productions. There is only one that is there, and anyways there is already a production that is deriving B from A, so we removed one which is redundant. So this is the final grammar. So if we see now there are again useless productions because S is deriving B, B, and there is no way, and B is deriving B, so this A has become useless variable now. So all associated productions are useless. So the final grammar after removing useless productions is B derives B. So this is the equivalent grammar.